light just like fades in. It looks so nice. Hey you guys, it's Jessica and welcome back to my channel. I know I've taken a little bit of a break from filming, but it was much needed. So now I'm back and better than ever. Few reasons why I took a little bit of a break. The main one was I was under the weather. I came down with a cold and a cough. I was exhausted and I just needed to kind of recover. I did go for a COVID-19 test, got the little swab up my nose. Honestly, it's not as bad as people say. It was like 10 seconds in and out. My test results did come back as negative, so I was super happy about that. I didn't want to put anybody around me at risk. Skylar also got the test and we never even got his results. They said they lost them. So no idea where they went, but his were lost. So he had to do the full 14-day quarantine. I was out after I think around 10 days. He had to go the full 14. So we were feeling much better, back to normal, and we're glad to be back. Before we did get sick, I got a tattoo on my ribcage, so it's right here. It was with an artist that I'd been wanting a tattoo from for so long. I had reached out to her back in August and I was like, hey, I don't know what your availability is like. I've had my mind set on this tattoo and you're the perfect person for it. Let me know what your availability is and when I could possibly come in. I knew she was going to be fully booked. I knew it wasn't going to happen anytime soon. But she ended up reaching out to me and being like, hey, I have this date available. If you can come in, that is when you can come in. So I obviously said yes, went in at the beginning of September because I knew if I didn't go then, I probably wouldn't get it done by her for like a year. So went in, was so nervous. My last tattoo that I gotten done before that one was 5 years ago, and it's right here. It was like the easiest spot to get a tattoo, and everyone was like, oh my god, I don't know why you want one on your rib cage. Like, do you know how painful that is? And I was like, well, I didn't think about that until now. So I was sweating hours leading up to it. I was chugging water and I was just like, oh, please don't pass out. Like, don't be embarrassing. Like, do not be that person. And so got to the tattoo studio, laid down on her little bench, tossed my arm over my head, and she was like, okay. She's like, you know, this is a painful spot, so it's probably going to be about an hour and a half, depending on how much you move and blah, blah, blah. When she said that, I immediately started feeling hot. I was like, oh, dear God. So she's like, okay, I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. The needle started touching my skin. And I remember texting Skylar because he was literally right across the room. He couldn't come with us because of COVID-19, but I still could see him, so that made me feel a bit more comfortable. And I remember texting him being like, oh my god, is this it? Like, you have to be joking me. It was so easy. I felt no pain at all. Again, my tattoo isn't some massive piece, like it is quite small, but I remember just laying there being like, wow, this is nothing. I ended up falling asleep like 25 minutes into the tattoo, and then I remember the artist being like, okay, like, she was wiping off my body, and I was like, okay, she's probably just wiping it off because I'm bleeding or something like that. And then she's like, okay, you're done. And I was like, I'm sorry? She was like, yeah, that only took 40 minutes because you didn't move at all. So she was like, holy, like, it's rare that people come in and don't move for those tattoos. So I ended up getting the discount on it because I didn't move that much, and again, it was only 40 to 45 minutes, so it was so fast. But this is it. That is my tattoo. She's tiny, but she's beautiful. The reason I got it, it is, like, a rose is my birthday month flower. Rose is for June. So I was like, you know what? I'm a June baby. I'm a proud June baby. So obviously when I knew that the rose was my birth month flower, I looked up like what the different colors meant so that I could get one that really had meaning behind it for me and like how, you know, the past year has been for me. And a pink rose means happiness, love, and it just means everything positive, really. So I was like, you know what? It took a lot to get me to where I am today, and I'm proud of where I am right now, so it just seemed like the perfect fit. I'm loving the tattoo, no regrets. Like September 13th-ish. Yeah, I think it was on September 13th. So on September it was either the 12th or 13th, I don't really remember. September has just flown by. I was able to participate in a bridal boudoir photo shoot. So I basically just went downtown. I had like the cutest bridal getting ready clothes. And I was just a bride for them. It was so fun. I got my hair and makeup done. I wore like these cute little bras and undies, and it was just, they took pictures, and I had this beautiful long veil and like stunning heels and jewelry, and it was at Mint Room Studios. So I had such a fun time. It was just so empowering to be in a photo shoot like that. I've never been the most confident in my own skin. So to be so vulnerable in that situation, just to be like, okay, like this is me, like I'm gonna be in a photo shoot and I don't care. It was so fun. We played like super fun music and just like had a great time. I've seen one photo so far and I'm so excited to see the rest. Obviously when they come out, I'll share a couple of them. But that is what I did at the beginning of September as well. So stay tuned for some photos from that photo shoot, and shout out to all of the ladies that I did that shoot with. You guys are amazing, and thank you for having me be a part of that. I will tag them in a bunch of the photos that I post so that you guys can follow them for anything hair and makeup wise. The photographer was amazing. My friend who is a wedding planner / event planner, she was also fantastic. So I will tag them and everything. Follow my social media below for those tags. Yeah. Oh, so I hate driving. Like, I don't hate it. I love driving. I love being able to go wherever I need to go all the time, and I love my car. However, like, I don't test well. Like, I never have been able to test well since I was young, and so like I avoid all driving tests like the plague. So I did my G1 when I was 20 years old. Like, I was in a big car accident when I was 18 or 19, and I just never wanted to drive after that. So it was a big deal for me to get my G1. And then a year later, did my G2, passed right away. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait a little to get my G. I waited almost the full 5 years. Like, I was cutting it close. And then when COVID happened, to book your G was ridiculous. Like, the earliest appointment I could get, and I booked it in June, was the beginning of September. Like, that was the earliest appointment, and then after that, you're waiting till God knows how long, because it was just so backed up. So I booked it, and I was like, okay, Jessica, like, it's time. If you do not pass this, you're going back to your G1 because you waited so long. So fast forward from June till the end of August, Skylar took me for some practice tests, and we kind of just like drove around so that I would feel less nervous. I don't know how many times he had to try and teach me how to parallel park. It was a goddamn disaster. Like, I think it took, how many tries did it take me to parallel park?
Your first attempt with me was your worst. Every single one after that was perfect. Like, you only struggled. So anyways, in my eyes, I basically, you should have put me with training wheels on the car, because like I just felt like I just couldn't park at all. And then we did one more practice round the night before, and I looked at Skylar and I was like, okay, we did all of the things I feel we need to. And I was like, with my G2, they didn't really ask me to reverse park at all. They just asked, or they didn't ask me to reverse park at all. I just backed up at the beginning of the test, and that was good enough. And then they never asked me after that. So I was like, you know what? Not worth practicing it. I suck at it. I'm basically gonna hit every car beside me, so let's just not practice. So I get to the test center, and everything's going so smooth. I am like passing with flying colors. The highway was great, and I was like, you know what? I'm not so nervous. I feel good. Get back to the test center. This man looks at me. After I practiced parallel parking 70 times, he didn't even ask me to do that. So I was like, I practiced for what? Get back to the test center, and he goes, could you just pull a bit forward and reverse into that spot? My face,
even masked up, I knew he knew that I immediately pooped my pants. There's no words to even describe how my face was. I was just like, as I'm reversing, I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. I was like looking at my camera, but then looking into the mirror and looking, like as he would look into the mirror, I would look into the camera and just back up. I was like, honestly, thank God you can't turn these reverse cameras off. So I back up, fully get into the spot, and he was like, congratulations, you passed. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I would have went back to my G1. So that also happened during this lovely pandemic. So I'm now a G-class driver, thank God, because I'm 25 and like that's just so unacceptable that I waited that long. Other than that, honestly, I've just been baking so much during the pandemic and just keeping myself busy. We had my Thanksgiving yesterday, so I was able to go home and just be with my family for a few hours, which lately it's not common. I'm a big family person, so the fact that I'm unable to see them a lot does really bother me. So I baked a chocolate zucchini cake from scratch and my sausage wontons. Brought those to my parents' house, and we just had such a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and it was just so nice to talk with them and to see them. And I don't know, this pandemic's just been bothering me. Like I miss being at home sometimes, but it's taught me that I just need to appreciate the time that I have with them and the time that I can spend with them. And it's taught me to just do things on my own, really, and to just learn how to do things for myself. And it's been awesome, to be honest with you. I love to cook now, I love to clean, and I love to bake. It's taught me a lot being without them. But shout out to them for such an amazing Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. It was so delicious, and I love turkey. I have this old guy with me again today. Oh my goodness, he has a cold. He just keeps sniffling. Say hi to everyone. Say she just woke me up from my nap and I have been sniffling. So we're just babysitting him for the weekend. Yeah, no, that's it. So sorry to disappear for a little while, but I'm back. More content to come, obviously. Stay tuned through this pandemic, and everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Yeah, subscribe, give a like, follow my other social medias below. See you next time. Say bye, Louie.